The man who was little in the public eye until becoming Germany's foreign minister is taking on a new challenge these days: election campaigning. Frank-Walter Steinmeier is the Social Democrats' candidate for chancellor in this year's national elections. The press is along for the ride as Steinmeier sets out on the campaign trail across Germany. With a visit to a job training center in Dortmund, it's showtime.
Looking at the people here and how much determination they have, it's even clearer what we have to do. We have a duty and an obligation to bring them back into the fold.
Whether candidates can do more than just talk the talk is the true test of a political campaign. The key is convincing voters and getting out the vote. Despite lagging in the polls, Steinmeier is up for the challenge. And today, that means giving these young, unemployed Germans some words of encouragement.
Gut, viel Erfolg, ne? Ja, danke sehr. Ihnen auch.
A week earlier in Potsdam, the Social Democrats unveiled Team Steinmeier to the public, a shadow cabinet meant to kick off a strong and successful campaign. But the SPD is more than 10% behind Merkel's conservatives in the polls.
Noch jemand?
And without a strong message, few feel that Steinmeier is capable of a comeback similar to what Social Democrats achieved in previous parliamentary elections.
In theory, a candidate could recover, but that requires, first of all, running a brilliant campaign, and second, that the competitor shows weakness, which is what helped make a real difference in the past.
Steinmeier's next stop is a lightning protection center at an electronics firm in the town of Menden. As the candidate marvels at the sheer power of a lightning strike, the question remains, is the SPD strong enough to turn this campaign around? The electronics company has invited Steinmeier to the launch of its new production facility. For the candidate, it's an opportunity for another campaign speech, this time in the Western Sauerland region. Steinmeier's topic: the need to protect jobs amidst the economic downturn. He says the Social Democrats' reforms have shielded Germany from an even worse scenario. Steinmeier is taking the case for his party and himself to the German voters.
The whole truth is that we have not just tough months ahead of us, but we'll also have uncomfortable years to get through. But if we don't find a way out of the crisis, who will?
Steinmeier has made jobs in the economic crisis the center of his campaign platform. In Berlin, he put forth a plan for Germany that envisions the creation of 4 million jobs over the next 10 years through investment in research, green technologies, and the public sector, virtually wiping out the country's unemployment. This is Steinmeier at his best, delving into details and discussing the nuts and bolts of policy. His campaign has finally found its central theme, but is the message hitting home?
He has to take his policy paper, the plan for Germany, and mold it into messages that really resonate, that make sense, that spark people's interests and motivate them. And it's important to highlight the differences between the SPD and the Conservatives, because the campaign hinges on making it clear to voters how things would change if the country had a Chancellor Steinmeier instead of a Chancellor Merkel.
The first day of Steinmeier's summer campaign ends at a reception in Cologne. The place is packed, not ideal campaign conditions. Frank-Walter Steinmeier makes his way through the crowd without much fanfare. Before the SPD can hope to catch up with the Christian Democrats in the polls, their candidate may have to do more to appeal to voters.